You reach out to me last night. Now I never do show prep. Last night I'm doing show prep with I'm trying to do a little show prep with you. You know, and you like, hey man, stop talking cigars for a second. I got some stuff to talk to you about with my family.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh Lord, we got a family emergency. All right, man, forget the cigar, shoot, man, what you got? And you start asking me stuff like Legends of the Hidden Temple or Guts, Animaniacs
Right.
or whoever,
Tiny
just a
Toons.
lot of old school. Oh yeah, Tiny Toons or Animaniacs. Just a lot of random old school cartoons, man. And I went through that thing with you, and then afterwards I thought about it. I'm like, that's what you interrupted the show prep for? No, we don't do show prep ever. Sorry
And you
guys, we
probably think,
freestyle these shows every single week. We go in
yeah,
like right before the show and be like, man, you got some topics? And every blue moon we have some.
yeah.
The NBA show,
Last
top 50 was
last
a
night,
show prep.
yeah, last night you were show prep. I was like, hey, forget all this cigar talk, man. I got some serious questions to pose to you real quick.
So going back to those questions you posed, interesting enough, right? You bring up Animaniacs to me last night, and today I'm sorry, I drifted off. I think Amazon's bringing me a package. They're gonna walk right up on me and interrupt my show. But
hey, man, got to get that Amazon up, man.
That's
important. That's an
that's
important part of
Amazon
life
right
now.
there. If y'all hear that sound, that's Amazon.
Hey, man,
Thank you.
Amazon's a part of life now,
So,
man.
right. So, anyway, you disrespectful. He didn't even bring me my package either. He just pulled off after making all the interruption. So, what I was saying was Animaniacs. So today I go to Hulu to find something for my kids to watch, some cartoons or something, and I see Animaniacs. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me see. I'm gonna let my kids watch Animaniacs and see if they into it. And as they're playing, I notice a drone in the cartoon, and they call it a drone. And then they go into a song, and they say something about Amazon changed delivery and Uber controls the way we eat. And I said, Animaniacs is talking about drones and Uber and Amazon. What is going on? I
Yeah, I'm
stopped the
confused.
show. I'm super confused. I stopped the show and I go back to the main screen to look at it, and it says 2020. They have
Really?
redone Animaniacs, and they re-released it with Pinky and the Brain. So it's Animaniacs / Pinky and the Brain, and it's new
Wow.
school.
I had no clue.
I didn't either. So this brings me to what I wanted to ask you about, man. What's your thoughts on when they re-release these shows? Because they've been doing it a good little bit lately, man. The Wonder
Yeah.
Years has come back, and they got a black family in the Wonder
I,
Years.
you know
They
what?
brought
Yeah,
back
yeah, yeah,
Full
yeah, yeah,
House,
yeah. They
some
did.
other
They
stuff.
did. I did see the Wonder Years, and I was thrown off by the fact that it was a black character. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was real interesting, and they would bring it back in that fashion too.
Right.
And you know what? I will say this. In a way, I like it, and in a way, I don't. I kind of like the concept of them, how they brought back Wonder Years, but brought it back just a little different. But I feel like they should have called it something else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe shifted the title, but kept the concept similar. And not call it Wonder Years, because what it does for me, I would assume that it would do this for anybody who was in that era, and they have to relive the remakes. Is we don't take to the remakes the same as we did before, or to the originals as we enjoyed before. Now, for the new generation, which I'm thinking that's who they're doing it for, to reintroduce a show or a concept to a new audience and try to capture a new audience, maybe, yeah, for them, that they'll enjoy it and not know what the original was like and have anything to compare it
Nothing
to.
to compare it to. Yeah.
Yeah, but for us who have something to compare it to, it's like, man, that certain nostalgia of a lot of the things that we enjoyed years ago, you can't recreate that, you know? Like, I remember there was so much talks about, like, a Saved by the Bell reunion, and they, like you said, they brought back Full House with a lot of the original cast, but I never watched it. You know what I'm saying? I had no intention of watching it. Even heard Martin, like, they were thinking about bringing Martin back, and I'm like, I might watch it, but of course it's not going to ring the same for me, because, like, you can't capture that lightning in a bottle like you did before. Even though, like, I'd rather go back and watch the reruns and relive how I felt when I saw it for the first time, watching the TGIF, or when I would come home from school and watch this episode and live through the moment. Like, even if they bring like back some of the game shows, like I think I brought up like Legends of the Hidden Temple versus
Yeah,
Guts and stuff like that. And even if they brought
yeah,
back Guts for the new generation kids now, it's not gonna be the same for me. You know,
yeah,
like how I used to get up. I think, well, I don't know how it was in America. I was in Japan at the time, but every Saturday Guts would come on. That's when I would catch it. And it's like I couldn't wait to get up and watch it. You watch what was it, Inside Stuff, and
yeah.
then because we only had one channel in Japan at this time, right? So one American channel, I would say. All the other channels were Japanese. So NBA Inside Stuff, which they did bring back at one point, didn't they, with Grant Hill? And I don't know how it was the same, or if it was the same, or if it felt the same. I
Wasn't
never
as good.
watched it.
Sorry, Grant. Wasn't as good.
Yeah, Amar Rashad, he killed that
Yeah,
whole joint. That was it for us back in the day. But that the Guts would
yeah.
come on, and it was just something special for us back when I was a kid. Um, but overall, for bringing back shows, I don't really care much for it, or bringing back old school stuff. But if you can bring it back in a way that it does capture a new audience and give them that same feeling that we had when we were younger, when we were kids, then I say go for it. But I feel like it should be done differently, because especially
Right.
right now too, that if they brought back a show, say in the '90s, they brought back a show from the '70s, we didn't have the access to compare to anything. Nowadays, kids have access to see, or even like Full House.
Right.
Like Full House now, or the Full House that they brought back, or the Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World, or whatever they brought back. Now we have access to Hulu that has all these old shows
Yeah,
that
you
they
can
would
find all the
watch.
old
You can
shows, the
find them.
original. Yeah.
So now even the youth nowadays have something to compare these new shows, these new remakes
Right.
to. Because my daughter, like I said, was 20 years old. We brought this up yesterday, and it brought up Fuller House, and even she was like, "Nah, I didn't like it. I like Full House better." I'm like, you weren't even alive or even thought of when Full House was out. I was a kid
Right.
when that was out, and you don't even like the new version. And then I think Girl Meets World too was brought up, and she said the same thing. I'm like, you don't remember Boy Meets World? Boy Meets World was way off the air before you was even born. But even
Right.
you have something to compare it to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's
All we
different
had
for
was
them now
syndication,
too.
and all the shows didn't get syndicated back then. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, that's a good point,
So
man.
it's to me it's a matter of how they bring it back. Does it do justice for the new generation? I don't know. Honestly, I can say probably more so now not than it would have been back in the day. Only because we can relive those old shows. You know what I'm saying? You can go back and watch the old Ninja Turtles and compare it to the new Ninja Turtles, or watch the
Right.
new Teen Titans Go compared to the old Teen Titans Go, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You have
Right.
access to so much to say, well, not that original, which is way better.
So let me ask you this: you say you think if you're gonna do it, you need to do it in a manner where they revamp it totally, or they try
Oh
to
yeah.
pick
Well,
up where it left off at.
I wouldn't even say pick up where it left off at. It's like I said, like that special moment, that nostalgia. Yeah, it'd be nice to try to relive it, but I don't think you can.
So
Like
you
I
mean
think
like,
once,
okay, so Martin as the example. If they bring Martin back, it needs to come back with Martin playing some side spinoff role, and no Gina, no
yeah,
Pam, no Tommy, none of them, just a whole new cast of
yeah,
characters.
like yeah, like you said the word spinoff. Like do a spinoff. Like I can appreciate a spinoff better than recreating an original. Like when say Different World was a spinoff for the Cosby Show. It
Right.
became its own thing, and it was able to live
Yeah.
in its own realm, even though it had a character and sometimes introduced a couple of the characters from the original show into
Right.
the new show. They would have a cameo here and there, but it was still its own thing. But it was related and tied to the older show. So bring back the older show in a new format and just kind of tie it together. That's how. I would more so appreciate it.